Yes, sir. So it looks like Ben Simmons might be holding out, and Jalen and Jacoby are saying that Doc Rivers mismanaged the situation, and it might be so. If your coach isn't showing any faith in you, why would you want to play for that coach? Let's hear what they got to say.
76ers head coach Doc Rivers was talking to our colleague and friend Stephen A. Smith on First Take, and here is what he had to say about the relationship with Ben.
It was a good conversation, and he gave us reasons, which we obviously didn't agree with. But, Stephen, I think in sports, and you've been around it a lot, there's been so many times that this has happened that hasn't been reported, and the guy comes back. So, listen, we're going to go through it. We're going to always do what's best for the team. But I can tell you up front, we would love to get Ben back. And if we can, we're going to try to do that. Ben has a long contract. So it's in our hands, and we want him back.
They want him back. He says he doesn't want to play. He's going to start getting fined about $250,000 for every preseason game he misses. How do you think this plays out, Mr. Rose?
Uncle Chuck D once said it. Pieces in one big chess game. I really like Doc Rivers. He mismanaged publicly the Ben Simmons scenario when they lost last year. I know the interview yesterday was cleanup time after they met with Ben, because Ben and Rich Paul, I'm sure they reminded him of what he said after the game. Usually, Jacoby, you don't have a guy this young in their career that's been all NBA, that's been all NBA defense, that has helped lead his team to the playoffs a few years in a row. Then he struggles mightily against the Atlanta Hawks. And right after they got eliminated and we started to realize that the process wasn't getting closer to a championship.
The process is definitely not going to go anywhere when you're not improving Ben Simmons' jump shot. It's not going anywhere when you're cycling coaches, and then you want to end up with Doc Rivers, who is extremely overrated, blows 3-1 leads like it's nothing, and then he wants to go out in public and say he doesn't know if he could win with Ben Simmons.
Because the Nets got a big three, because the Bucks just won the championship, because the Heat won the East the year before that, because the Raptors won the championship the year before that. Doc went to the podium. Tee up what he said, Jacoby. I want to remind you.
Here's what he said after Game 7 lost to the Hawks.
Doc, you think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
That part.
Jalen always trying to stay young, man. I tell you, with those goofy glasses and that spray painted hairline. But yo, to be honest, just look at what Doc Rivers' response was. Would you want to play for a coach if he said that? It's not like it's reverse psychology. It's Doc Rivers we're talking about. It's obvious the chemistry isn't there between Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, so it's time to make a move. Your franchise player is Joel Embiid when healthy, so try to get Ben Simmons, maybe try to make a deal for Dame Lillard, Andrew Wiggins, and some pieces. Try to get him in Dallas, whatever it is, whatever it takes. But it's not going to work. It's like a bad relationship. It reaches plateau. It's not going anywhere, especially when you're cycling coaches. None of them can make it work. You know what I'm saying? It's either you blow it up or you're just going to go through the motions and get knocked out in the semis. With the cycling winners of the Eastern Conference, you should be able to make a push, but you guys aren't going anywhere, especially with Doc Rivers as the coach.
So that means I need to be out of here. The coach doesn't believe that I'm a championship level player. The best player on the team, Joel Embiid, just got a big extension. You already know when they were doing his deal, they talked.
That's going to be the play that they're going to keep playing. It's going to keep ringing and running around in Ben Simmons' mind until he just makes it happen in this league. But he most definitely had a dunk, but I can understand why he passed it off. He felt like Gallinari might have been right there on his back, and he might have gotten fouled. It is what it is, though, but it's obvious Doc Rivers has no faith in him. It's time to make a move.
About the situation with Ben. They lost Jimmy Butler. You now re-sign Embiid. Those two players, when they're at their maximum, you see Ben right there? He's in the blue area of the floor. That's where Joel Embiid's at his best. So as two great players, and Joel an MVP level player, their skill sets just don't match. And so I've said this for a while. They will move Ben Simmons. The problem is they will not get equal value. Don't talk about and don't worry about the money that he's going to miss. It's like a used car. As long as he's not putting miles, he'll make the money up. But what he's also doing, he's sabotaging their season. Because you don't think I'm a championship level point guard? Okay, y'all go ahead without me. Go right ahead. Let me see what y'all look like now. And that's what Ben Simmons is going to do.
Well, I'm sure we'll get an update on this. And one of the teams that
They need to just make the move because the damage is done. It's obvious that they can't play together. He's playing in the paint. Joel Embiid is on the three-point line. He can't make anything happen out there. The proof is in the pudding. They're not beating the Bucks. They're not beating the Heat. They're not making it anywhere. So just make the trade happen. It's obvious you're not going to get equal value. You should have traded him for James Harden, but you wanted to keep him. Just like Danny Ainge having all of those young players when they were up and coming, he had all of those draft picks. He wanted to hold on to them. And look at the Celtics now. Just like I said before, players might be some younger brothers that might be catching this, playing in high school and whatnot. If your coach is showing no faith in you, if he wants to be in his emotions and then take it out on your playing time, take it out on the way you play your game, it's best that you make your next move your best move. Go to a private school, whatever it takes, to where you can showcase your talents. That's enough of that. I'm out.